When 2022 rolled around, many who'd been working remotely thought they'd finally be coming back to the office, but due to rising COVID cases, many employers kept people working from home.
And some of those remote workers might still be struggling to find the right balance. Newswatch 16's Ryan Lucky joins us live from the digital studio. Good morning, Ryan.
Guys, when I work from home, I struggle not to make chicken nuggets every day at 6 a.m.
Yeah, we had to keep an eye on you.
I know, It's so much easier to snack when you're working from home.
That was my jam. Hey, so this morning we're diving into the whole topic, work-life balance, right? In March 2020, when everything shut down and a lot of people went remote, technology was great. It helped us stay connected, but some people still struggle with that work-life balance. The majority of folks, though, who did chime in on my Facebook post, including Andrew, said, yeah, they are loving it and they are able to kind of keep that balance. So when he's off the clock, he said, work leaves him alone unless he requests overtime. For other people, including Megan, she's loving it, but like a number of folks, sometimes they're still struggling with those boundaries, and HR pros say it's kind of worse now than what it has been for some people. More on that in a moment, but the bottom line for Megan, she said she is struggling really to kind of dial back with some of those boundaries. And if you're among some of these thoughts and need some help to kind of balance that out a bit, here are a few tips from some pros.
I think it is worse now.
Leslie Weyerback is a human resources professional who's been a go-to guide for many companies across Pennsylvania. She says that struggle employees are facing of balancing careers with personal lives is something so many remote workers are still facing right now, especially the pressure to respond to work emails or calls after hours.
I also think there was at least some grace early in COVID of we're all in this, we don't know what's happening. Now it's almost shifted to we've been doing this for 2 years, we should know what to do, and they really don't.
And employees feeling like they're constantly on the clock is one of the reasons workplace culture experts, including Leslie, say cause people to leave their jobs in record numbers, like these from November, when 4.5 million Americans said, I quit.
They feel like they always have to be on for work, and it's really having an impact on their lives.
So Leslie, what's your advice if people feel like their bosses are emailing them after 9 p.m. at night, after they've been off the clock, what they're supposed to be for hours? How do they navigate that?
The key is communication of the expectations. So if your boss hasn't said, hey, you have to be on at 9 p.m. and reply, then the employee needs to ask the question, am I allowed to shut my device off? Can I respond the next day? What does that look like so that it's clear? Also, if you're an hourly employee, it's especially important to have that conversation because you need to be paid for that time. So you would have to be compensated. If you're salaried, knowing what you have to do is more of the key of the conversation. If they're not comfortable having that conversation directly with their manager, go to human resources.
And developing a better work-life balance could also just help you feel better and improve your mental health. Dr. Leah Richards-Palmer is an associate professor in the School of Social Work at Marywood University in Lackawanna County. She also works as a therapist on the side.
Over the last 2 years, the increase in people feeling very stressed out about working from home and these issues of COVID and just not knowing what the future holds has increased. The referrals I get, people tend to see their job or their work as an authority figure. So even if they have walked away for a minute, if they hear on their phone, like a ding, it goes into that work mode sort of panic.
And if you haven't already, Dr. Palmer suggests creating a separate room or space at home for all things work-related, and leave it all there when you're off the clock.
Creating boundaries, creating limits will help perpetuate sort of this positive work attitude and productivity at the end of the day.
And really the bottom line from both experts you just heard from, if you're struggling to disconnect, talk to your manager or your HR supervisor. And how about this? Some European countries, including Portugal, actually passed new labor laws last fall banning bosses from contacting employees after hours, depending on the company size, or they could face fines. No such legislation exists in the U.S. Really fast, speaking of jobs, if you're looking for work, take a look at this post on my Facebook page. We have a great segment coming your way tomorrow. Big paying jobs minus the big degree. If your company is hiring, share the name, the description, degree requirements, and salary range right on my Facebook post. This segment coming your way tomorrow, right here from 4:30 to 7 a.m. Guys, and a lot of companies are hiring, some of the jobs starting at $30 an hour.
It's the lucky job fair. Can't wait.
All right.
See ya.
Now we've got Joe with the